So I want to welcome everybody to our X2O Zoom. We've been doing this for several months now. We've had a lot of guest speakers on over the months. David Schmidt, he just let me know today that it's going to be another month or so before he gets back with us because of his travel schedule, especially on around Thursday nights. But he wants to come back on and visit with you guys, answer your questions as well. For those who don't know me, my name is Jim Gilliland. I live up in the Pacific Northwest. Been with LifeWave for almost 4 years. And when I came into this company, I was with another company that we did water ionization systems and was with them for 18 years. Company before that, for another 16 years, almost 16. And that was, we did water systems, everything from ozone, UV, photooxidation, reverse osmosis, distilled water systems, whole house systems, a little bit of everything. And before that, I was with a company called NSA, and NSA was a filter. That's just a countertop filter, and that filter, it was a good filter. It was just that, a filter. So, had a lot of experience, about 34 years experience in the water. I've been full-time in network marketing now for 30 years, and I've been involved in network marketing now for 43 years, 44 years now. Doesn't really matter. It's a long time. People consider me a water expert. I don't consider myself that. So if you hear that, Jim's the water expert. I just have a lot of experience. I don't think you could ever be a true expert on water because we're learning every day. Every day we learn something new, and so there's always more to learn. However, I've been working with X2O now with David Schmidt, Wayne Moorhead, Laura up in Ireland, the presidents we've had of the company, and so I've been working with it quite a bit. Been drinking the water for almost a year now. Matter of fact, if you didn't see, if my screen wasn't up right now, I'd have my prototype here, which was one of the original prototypes, which was sent to me to tear apart, dissect, and figure out the ins and outs and any things that I would suggest to change with that system. And then I got the other one also, that the first 500. And then we kind of put the brakes on. I found some things that I wasn't really thrilled with. Found a lot of things that I was really thrilled with, but there's certain things that need to be changed. And so one thing I'll tell you about this company, David Schmidt, the owner inventor, he listens to us in the field. He's not like some of these other companies that they say they do, but they don't. He cares about the technology and cares about the end product. And so I think that if you guys really knew how much has gone into this technology over the last, almost 8 years plus, you would understand how much has been spent, how much time, how much research, testing, and with something new, we're always going to have more things to be found out, more things that might need to be changed. But the beauty of this technology is this. We have a place where we can upgrade the firmware. You can just take and plug your USB drive in. They can, into your computer, download a program from the company and change the firmware. We can change the frequencies of the light. We can, there's a lot of things that can be done with just using that thumb drive and that new firmware, whatever they sent out at the time. So let's talk about water. I'm going to share my screen here, and hopefully this works because I just got my computer back from the Geek Squad. And the Geek Squad was supposed to make some changes, and they did as they made changes, but they also did as they left a lot of things off my computer that's supposed to be there. So I'm going to share my screen and see if I can get this to go here. Okay, I'll start a slideshow from the beginning. Okay, so once again, my name is Jim Gilliland, and I go by Coach Jim because I've been coaching people for a lot of years in this industry. I've spoken all over the world and trained on the area of molecular hydration. I've trained on the industry we're in. I've had distributors, we call them brand partners in this company, in 41 different countries. And my most recent country that I was really working to open up in the area of water and hydration was Israel. And so haven't been back to Israel for a couple of years now since everything's going crazy over there. But I will get back over there and I will do some more training in that area. So health and wellness, it starts with water, and no matter which way you look at it, water is the most important thing to your physical life. People say, well, air is more important. You can only go 3 minutes without air. Well, I'll tell you what, without hydration of the body, you cannot even absorb the air you're breathing. And so it's extremely important. And I'm going to share some things with you guys tonight that maybe you didn't know. About hydration and about water. But there's a lot of claims out there. We'd like to stay, if we can, compliant to keep the company out of trouble and keep ourselves out of trouble. So I like to post these different compliance claims and disclaimers so that you know that we don't claim to cure or heal anything. What we're doing is we've developed a technology that as you consume it, the body does what God designed it to do, and that's heal itself. So let's move on from this. Question is, what if water could be enhanced by light? Now, we know about light. We know about our patches, our X39 and other patches, and how they actually work on the body, in that as our bodies emit light, that light is reflected back into the body in a wavelength so that our body can use it for different things. One thing I'll tell you is that our water is infused with light also. I had one of my customers said they weren't feeling anything. They're expecting to feel something from the water. Well, if you go out in the sunshine, you don't feel your body's upregulating of vitamin D. We know that sunshine produces vitamin D in our body. Just like we know that we have thousands of gallons of blood being pumped through our bodies every day. We don't feel it. If you feel your pulse, you can feel that blood you can actually feel the pulse from your heart. You're not feeling the blood, you're feeling the pulse of your heart. And so as that blood pulses through those veins. So what we're going to try to do, though, is hopefully you guys aren't seeing the stuff that's on my screen here telling me what to do. Get rid of this real quick here. There you go. We're going to look at the next evolution in hydration, and that's the X2O. We've actually been doing is drinking this water now, like I said, for a while, and with extremely positive results. Yeah, my screen's going to freeze on me. There we go. Let's watch this quick video real quick.
Now you can live life elevated with superior wellness through the transformational power of light. Every second, thousands of biochemical signals are sent throughout the body using wavelengths of light. At LifeWave, our products are designed to harness that light in unique ways to optimize ultimate energy flows. Our global community is united by light, offering the promise of health, vitality, and opportunity through the power of synergy. 3 of our groundbreaking innovations together promote the ultimate in healthy living and offer you an opportunity, a 3-in-1 system that can change lives. Welcome to the future of wellness. It begins with X39, our breakthrough light-activated patch that taps into the body's natural ability to renew, restore, and perform at its best. Sellergize is a complete cellular energy and recovery system designed to fuel your day, support your mind, and recharge your body. And then, our all-new LifeWave X2O, a patented breakthrough in hydration science that dispenses light-infused water at the touch of a button. This is hydration reinvented. LifeWave X2O, when consumed daily, aids in proper hydration to support the effectiveness of X39 and Sellergize, boosting energy flows, nutrient absorption, metabolic activity, oxygen uptake, even activating key physiological responses. A power system of synergy. Together, more powerful than when separate. An innovative 3-in-1 system to intensify overall effectiveness. Because when your body is powered by light, energy flows and everything comes to life. It's time to build a foundation of hydration, energy, and recovery to fuel you, your body, and your business. LifeWave, the power of synergy. One system making it simple to start, share, and succeed. Awaken your potential. Experience the power of synergy. Share the light. LifeWave.
So, light-infused water technology, that's what we are. That's what X2O is. What if water could be enhanced using light energy? The X2O system uses photonic infusion technology to influence the energetic properties of the water. This represents a new category of hydration technology. When I say category, it's this. When they went to get a patent on our X2O system, there was no category for it. No one else in the world has what we have. It's a technology that David Schmidt developed through years of research. Even before we brought it to market, we had 6 double-blind placebo clinical studies done on it. And, it proved to have actually 100%. And that's hard to say because I've been studying research studies for many years. Most research, double-blind studies don't have anything close to that. In fact, I was asked one of my good friends who's he's an inventor of medical technology. He's also one of the top vascular surgeons in the world. I said, have you ever heard of a technology that comes out and has not just 1, but 6 research studies with 100% effectiveness? You say, well, Jim, I thought there was only 79 out of the 80 that got results within 15 seconds. Well, that's true. 15 seconds or less, 79 of them got the results. The last, what they call the outlier, he actually took him a little less than 2 minutes to get his results. So, but we still had results. Wayne Dyer, who I've, knew for many years, says our lives are the sum total of the choices we have made. What choices have you made for your health? What choices have you made for your body's hydration? If you think about it, most Americans like to think that they're going to live till 70, 80, 90 years old, 100 years old. But they don't plan for that. Just like, it's summertime. People are going on vacations. They'll spend more time planning a vacation than they will planning out their life strategies as far as health goes. My wife and I have just finished up we're not quite finished yet, but close to another month or so. It'll be almost 7 months since we started this journey of working on our health. And, we went through a complete detox with this coach that we have, this doctor, and got rid of a lot of things in our diets, our lifestyles that were not healthy for us. Because I'm 70 now. I don't want to get to 75, 80 or older and not be able to get around. I want to be healthy. I want to age gracefully. And so my goal, unless the Lord comes back, I want to live to a minimum 103. Now I know with David Schmidt's technology, it's age reversal technology. It's not a matter of slowing down the aging process. It's a matter of reversing the aging process so we can live a longer, healthier life. And so we can age gracefully. So 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated. Think about that. 75%. You say, well, what is hydration? What does that mean? You know, our bodies are an average of 75% water. Your brain is 74 to 83% water. Your brain is. Muscles, 76% water. Your bones are 13 to 22% water. Your fat, 20% water. Liver, 86% water. On and on and on. Our bodies are made up of water. Okay? The biggest component of water, or I guess you can call it the organ, is our fascia. It's from top of your head to bottom of your toes. We have this fascia, this inner layer. That is the largest portion of our body as far as that contains water. You know, lungs makes up a big percentage of our water. It holds water. But we don't even think about that. Matter of fact, how many of you guys got in the shower today to start your day? Or how do you end the day with a shower? And you get in that shower and we turn the heat up, and that hot water produces steam. And if you haven't filtered out the particles and the toxins in your shower water, you're breathing that into your lungs. Okay? It's that volatile organic compounds that are in that shower steam that we're breathing into our lungs. But I know some of you guys have shower filters. I have a very expensive shower filter. I've got a couple of them in our house. We got 5 bathrooms in our very large house, and that we have a special water system to remove those toxins that aren't removed through the water system that we get our water from. And so you absorb them into your skin, you breathe them into your lungs. But people do every day is they drink water. They figure if it tastes good, it must be good for me. But what's in your water? Are you drinking bottled water? Do you have those microplastics in your bottles water? Is the water large clustered water, so you're not even absorbing it? Most bottled waters, you absorb less than 20% of the water because it's what they call large clustered water, which we'll talk about here in a couple minutes. But water is extremely important. If you think about this, 1% water loss, just 1%, you're dehydrated. 2% water loss, you're thirsty. So when I get up in the morning and I'm thirsty, I usually drink about 24 to 32 ounces of water before I get in bed at night. But when I wake up in the morning, I'm thirsty. My mouth is dry because I'm probably breathing with my mouth open. Who knows? But I'm thirsty. Okay. First thing I do is I grab my large glass of water off my nightstand and I down that water. But 10% water loss, you start hallucinating. 10%. At 12% water loss, death starts happening. So water is extremely, extremely important to your body. We generally recommend half your body weight in ounces per day. So for myself, I weigh 190. I need to drink at least 95 ounces of water a day. That's what I go by. And lately it's been 95 ounces, right at 95 ounces of X2O. So you need to have good water. So if you think about your water, what is in your water? What is in that water you're consuming? Question. Name and explain 3 properties of water that make it essential for sustaining life. The answer, 3 properties of water that make it essential for sustaining life is 1, its polarity and hydrogen bonding. Due to its polarity, water forms hydrogen bonds, making it resistant to temperature changes. This properly helps in maintaining a stable environment for living organisms. Number 2, cohesion and adhesion. Cohesion allows the water molecules to stick together and facilitates nutrient transports in plants. Adhesion enables water to stick to surfaces, allowing capillary action in the transport of nutrients and waste throughout an organism or the organism's body. And number 3, universal solvent. Water can dissolve a wide range of substances, which is vital for living and allows various chemical reactions to occur within the living organisms, facilitating transport of nutrients and waste and enabling essential biochemical reactions. So that's a lot to say. However, if the water that we're drinking is not hydrating us, we start having symptoms like fatigue and headaches and joint pain. We become sluggish, and we get a sluggish metabolism. Our cravings are mistaken. And usually, a lot of times we get cravings for food, and it's just we're thirsty too. Premature aging signs, wrinkles, saggy tissue, those type of things. We're not properly hydrated. I mean, even with our horses, we have a nonprofit equestrian horse ranch. And so we work with a lot of horses. We get rescue horses in. And even a horse, you can usually do the same thing that you can do with the human. It's a pinch test. You want to see if you're hydrated? Pinch the back of your hand, the skin, and see if it goes back right away. With the horse, it's the same thing. We'll pinch the horse. We'll look at its gums. There's different signs that they are dehydrated. And we see that same thing in humans as well. Tap water. 41 million Americans has been found to contain wide range of pharmaceuticals, including sex hormones and anti-seizure medicines. How much of that stuff you want in your water? They found over 315 different pollutants, and over half these pollutants are completely unregulated and can legally exist in any amount. So how much of that stuff do you want in your body? I know in our area, especially in the Port Ludlow area south of us, they have arsenic in the water. How much arsenic is good for you? For me, I don't want arsenic in my water. It says contaminated water is America's most significant public health crisis. U.S. drinking water contamination with forever chemicals, far worse than scientists thought. U.S. agencies set out to study health effects of PFASs. So think about all those different factories, the farmers that spray stuff on their fields. And where does that go? It goes into the groundwater, okay? Whether it's runoff from streams and irrigation or goes deep into the ground and gets into the well waters. So we want to make sure that we don't have these PFASs in our waters because they're toxic. They're carcinogenic. PFASs included in uncounted products from clothing to furniture to pizza boxes to food, wrappers to cooking utensils, you name it. They're out there. But what we want to do is we don't want to be consuming them in our water. We get enough as it is. Even our rain, every raindrop has PFASs in it. Today it's rain a little bit over here. That rainwater or those clouds gather up pollutants in the air and they come down with the rain, as it rains. Water quality concerns, millions are exposed to contaminants like PFASs and heavy metals. Filters don't improve bioavailability. The wellness shift has gone from a $7 trillion global market turning to holistic health. X2O delivers science-backed hydration innovation. One thing that caught my attention with the X2O is this. The X2O has got 2 filters and removes the microplastics, the forever chemicals, the PFASs, the PFOSs. It removes all that stuff, the herbicides and pesticides from the water before it goes into the system where the water is treated with photons of light. So we're removing all that stuff from the water. And I tell you what, I said I've been in the water for a lot of years. I have not come across another company that can claim that. I got one company that I use for a pre-filter. They're pretty darn close. But David's searched and searched and searched for a company that could build what he was looking for as far as a filter goes. He found a way to create special metallic oxides with unique waves. And these metallic oxides are what are photons of light shine through the water and reflect back and capturing the photons of energy or wavelengths in the water. He realized that hydrogen can act like a metal, leading to a new form of water. He studied light from long-living species like the lobster and found a code of longevity. And that code of longevity, he took that and he discovered that it's the same code that appears in the book of Genesis. Now, you say, how can that be? Well, God designed us, God built us, and he left clues. So, but David Schmidt, one thing when I spent time with him we were actually going to or coming back from Greece. I don't remember which one. My wife and I sat down with him and his wife, and I asked him, I said, David, how do you get these ideas for this technology? He says, every day, Jim, I'm in Bible study. So I study the Word of God, and then I pray, I intercede, and the Lord gives me downloads of information. And that's where this information comes from, and these ideas. That's who the owner of our inventor of our product is. X2O changes the structure of water so it can store light energy. So we're restructuring the water. When you drink it, the water releases its light inside your body. Now, I hear all kinds of people making claims in LifeWave about how long the water holds its energy, how long it holds the light, so on and so forth. I can safely say that the light frequencies, the photons of light are captured in the water, and they are held pretty constant for 4 to 6 hours. And that's what we kind of stick with, 4 to 6 hours. The water wasn't designed to be put in bottles and then, held on to. It's designed to drink the water as it comes out of the machine. The 630 nanometers of red light boosts its mitochondrial function or cellular energy. Instead of shining light on your skin, the X2 delivers it through the water. Now, a lot of people, they get bottles, they get brown bottles, they get cobalt blue bottles, they get all these different colors of bottles. The reason why I recommend people putting water in bottles is because the hydrogen of the water is lighter than oxygen. So it can go through plastic, okay? Also in an open glass, it dissipates very rapidly. Now, I like to do is when I'm giving someone water, I use a bottle that's like this. You guys see it's got the porcelain top on it, fastens down. This one happens to be in brown. I've got them in blue. I've got them in clear. So what I do is I fill that bottle all the way to the top, to where it's overflowing. Then I put the lid on there and I lock it down, and I can go back and measure that water a day or two later, and it's still antioxidant. The hydrogen is trapped in the bottle, and it's pretty constant. So it doesn't matter really if you want to use a clear bottle. This is a clear bottle, as you guys see with my screen. Just don't put it out in direct sunshine. Okay. You can put it in in your refrigerator. You're not going to lose the light that everybody says you're going to lose just because it's in a clear bottle if it's in a place where it's not getting direct sunshine. So, something to think about. Scientific evaluation. Researchers evaluate the effects of light-infused water using blood, urine analysis, and bioelectrical measurements. 7 studies have shown that the measurable biological effect after consuming light, someone's unmuted, is infused in the water. So let me see if I can figure out who's unmuted here. Hang on one second. If you guys stay muted, I really appreciate it. Thank you. So Hydrogen technology comparison. Traditional technologies, you see them out there. You know, there's filtration systems. They're focused on removing contaminants. You have your alkaline ionizers, which I know very well, inside and out, literally inside and out. I, as a technician, did that for almost 17 years, taking them apart, repairing them, putting them back together, and testing them. I've done that not just for the one company I was with for those 18 years, but also for other companies that would send me their new products to do bench testing on. And I do bench testing. I would figure out what needs to be changed, and I do reports. Sometimes they didn't want the machine back, so I actually have shelves in my storage unit that are full of other companies' ionizers. An ionizer is basically they filter the water, then through electrolysis, they split the water into two streams. And so our system does not do that. We do not split water. The hydrogen water systems dissolve or produce hydrogen gas. Now, our system, the hydrogen is produced by a substance, magnesium, that's in the filter, which it actually does is we found it more effective when you have the hydrogen in the water when you're using it, the light, wavelengths of light going through, radiating through the water and capturing that light in the water. It's a whole scientific process, and I have all the paperwork on it. Just layman's term, it works. Okay. We use photonic light infusion to influence the water properties. And when I first saw this nearly 4 years ago, it'll be 4 years ago this October, I was down in Florida and David Schmidt showed us some videos and it boggled my mind. Since then, I've been actually allowed to, I was the only brand partner allowed to go into the labs and manufacturing up in Ireland to tour. My wife wasn't even allowed to go in. Just me, no cell phone, no nothing to take notes on. Just they took me around and they showed me things that still boggle my mind today. It's this company is so far ahead of everything else in the market. So some of the core benefits that we find out there: detoxification. That's the reason why we only want people to drink 1 to 2 glasses a day. That's what they did their tests on, 1 to 2 glasses a day. And if you drink more than that, if you're in an acidic state, you will probably experience some detox symptoms like loose stools. You might get a headache, those type of things. Those go away. And I tell people, don't fight the detox, just push through it. David Schmidt still wants us to drink only 2 glasses of water a day because he cannot recommend more than that, because otherwise you fall in an issue with dosing. And so that's what we want people to do. Once your body reaches what they call homeostasis, basically it's a balancing act between acid and alkaline. And when we reach that level, that homeostasis, your body's pH should be pretty much a constant 7.365 in that range. We test our urine and our saliva to find out where we're at. This water does not change the pH of your blood. Okay, the body does that the way God designed it to do, to get the minerals it needs from your other, let's say, parts of your body. Purity and advanced processing, stage 1, it removes heavy metals, microplastics, PFOSs, and PFOAs. Stage 2, it infuses water with hydrogen acting as an antioxidant. Stage 3, it exposes water to light frequencies, altering its structure for enhanced bioavailability. And then we have rapid measurable results. Reported benefits include noticeable energy shifts within seconds. And if you've consumed the water and you notice that, you know what we're talking about. Clinical findings show increase in NAD levels linked to energy, metabolism, longevity. Collagen activity, we see an improvement in the collagen in the body, both in skin and tissue, and the telomere stability associated with aging process. You know, we talk about the trifecta. The trifecta is basically you have your X39, you have your cellular guys, and just the two of those alone, we won the biohacking award last year. Just on the two of those. Then you add the X2O water and you have a complete trifecta of healthy technology to keep your body from aging, to help your stem cells as they're reactivated to keep them stable, healthy, and the way we want them to be. So, summary of benefits. The category key advantages of cellular hydration: better absorption, faster cell repair, inflammation reduction, energy vitality, rapid energy boost, sustained focus, less fatigue, anti-aging and longevity, tissue renewal and delayed aging signs, cellular efficiency, skin and metabolism revitalized, skin metabolic balance, a healthy blood sugar, detoxification improved, toxins removed, oxidative stress reduction, purification process. A triple stage filter also has a hydrogen infusion, light activation, rapid impact, quick results, NAD increase, collagen support, telomere protection. That's a lot. And so people say, well, how do I know it's working? You do is every person is different. I tell people everybody is different. People are going to react in different ways, depends on where they are as far as their health goes. Now, you asked what the pH is. This is actually a pH meter that I tested, and it's a 9.44. David will also tell you we run about 9.4 pH. That is what our pH of our water is. That's why I say you want to do is start slow, 1 or 2 glasses of water a day. Drinking 9.0 or 9.5 pH water, you'll help you to reach that, like I mentioned before, the homeostasis. So the pH is ORP. ORP stands for oxidation reduction potential. Think about antioxidants. An antioxidant is something, it's a antioxidizing. So if you peel a banana, slice an apple, you start to see it brown, okay? That's oxidation going on. Or if you were to look at the back of my pickup truck, I haul alfalfa because we have a horse ranch. If I don't wash that alfalfa out of the back of the truck each time I get back, the acidity from the alfalfa will cause my truck to rust. Or if I left my tools out in the rain, which we're getting this afternoon, I would also get rust on my tools. That's oxidation. Oxidation is speeding up the aging process. We don't want oxidation of that type in our bodies, but oxidation also is healthy in your bodies. We need some oxidation. We don't need the extreme oxidation. So ORP, oxidation reduction potential, or the potential to reduce oxidation. So when you look at that, let me see if there's a play. Okay, so I was asked to measure the ORP. As I start to dispense water into the cup with the ORP meter, we'll get the ORP. You're going to see it go from a ORP positive number to a negative number. So negative antioxidant, negative millivolt. Okay, so it runs about negative. We let's sit there. I think it went to negative 635. Negative 560. Takes a while to come. Finally, negative where it's going to. But that is about 40 times or more. So going up a little bit. Actually, probably a lot more than the famous green tea or blueberries or whatever. So it's the water is antioxidant. So we're settling out right about 5. It's really it's incredible, that we have that. Let me go back here. It just talks about some of the studies I found results. So Hydration and health. It's a growing wellness movement. Hydration is huge. Research shows many adults fall short of their daily fluid intake recommendations. Poor hydration contributes to fatigue, reduced concentration, and lower physical performance. So the wellness industry is, when you look at water and the global water consumption, it's huge. So, but the thing is, you see all these people drinking bottled water, plastic bottles, microplastics. What are plastic made out of? They're made out of chemicals, and those chemicals are released into the water, especially as they reach about 86 degrees. You leave a bottle of water in your car, and it starts getting warm. You're drinking toxic soup. So think about what you're putting in your body. The booming functional water market projected to hit $30.1 billion by 2032. 7.75% CAGR growth driven by demand or high quality hydration and health focus solutions. So it's huge. Remember, I still focus in LifeWave. My main focus, even though I'm been working with water for a lot of years, my main focus is still X39. That is my main focus when I'm talking to people about LifeWave, is X39, because no one else can do what we do. The water, that's icing on the cake. Because millions are exposed to forever chemicals and heavy metals. If you think about this, if I were to take this bottle of water, okay, and I filled it up with tap water, or it was just full of bottled water, less than 20% of this water is getting into the cellular level because the water's large clustered or large water. When the water is made small or microclustered, like the X2O, it penetrates into the body more quickly. Matter of fact, I encourage people, when you get your water, take your water and take your first swallow of X2O water in the morning. Just hold it in your mouth about 30 to 60 seconds. You know, what happens is, because it is microclustered, full of hydrogen, you start hydrating, your brain starts getting hydrated the first, and you start noticing a difference like right away. Then as you swallow and drink the water, before it even reaches what they call the duodenum sweep, it's 100% absorbed into the body. And so that the body now is utilizing the nutrients that are being delivered into the body through the aquaporins, because they're small enough clusters of water molecules, small water, to deliver the nutrients. Otherwise, they're not getting in. They're too large of clusters to get in through those aquaporins, those cellular openings. Then what's happening as you absorb into your body, it's also going to wash out the acidic waste. So that's a good thing. Deliver nutrients, wash out the acidic waste. Think about your customers, who your consumers might be. And so you're looking for health-conscious individuals that are seeking better hydration and overall wellness. Where do you find those? Think about where you go to work out. Think about sports facilities, athletes, people that live an active lifestyle. They require enhanced performance and nutrient absorption. The aging population. Hey, like I said, I'm 70 years old. I have to stay hydrated, okay? Aging population is focused on anti-aging and natural rejuvenation. Current water system users, in other words, people that own another type of water technology. They're always looking, they've experienced good water, now they're looking for something better. This is the better. There's nothing else like it in the world, and it's much better. Despite widespread access to drinking water, concerns about water purity, bioavailability, and absorption efficiency persist. So understand the water, share the water, don't make medical claims, just let the water do what it's doing. Your ideal customer profile for the X2O serves best the age range of 40 to 65. However, there are going to be a lot of younger people that experience it. My grandson, who's 17, he's actually just got off the ice a couple hours ago playing in Vegas. He is an ice hockey goalie, and he lives for ice hockey. He loves the X2O water. In fact, if I don't watch it in the morning, he's already down the X2O before I get a chance to get my first glass of water. So even though it's age 40 to 65 is your ideal customers, there's other people that are out there needing good water. Income levels, 100,000 plus per year. So we're talking mid to high income earners. They can just write a check. There's others that might not, that we know of people that might not have that kind of money, so they have to put it on a credit card. But I'm going to encourage you guys to go down and build a relationship with your credit union and set up a program that people go in there and finance an X2O. Urban and suburban health conscious communities. Household families, professionals, wellness driven individuals. So, and this is the mindset you're looking for. What drives their decisions? Is it the wellness focused? They invest in organic food and personal health and fitness. Maybe it's the tech savvy people that are eager to adopt advanced wellness technologies, or the eco-conscious person who is concerned about bottled water and environmental impact. I'd rather see someone filling up bottles of water than taking plastic bottles and throwing them in the trash all the time. Brand loyal. People that prefer a premium long-term health solution. And frequent buyers. Regularly purchase supplements, water tech, and wellness services. I don't know about you guys, but I take a lot of supplements. Not as many now that I have my Celergize AM and PM. I got rid of a lot of supplements I was having to buy, but I still take supplements. Once again, I want to stay healthy. I don't want to be one of the people that, when I hit 80, 90 years old, that I'm pushing around a walker or in a wheelchair. I just don't want that. So let's watch this real quick video. Then I'm going to turn it over to some testimonials.
And I can't move my hands anymore. The pain is just too intense, and my hands are frozen open. So I can't go back to work, and I'm really sorry I can't do anything for you. And I said, okay, why don't you come in to the office and let me work with you for a bit and show you some of our light therapy products. And he said, okay, he didn't have any idea who I was or in that regard or what it is that we were doing over at LifeWave. We had only been talking about the drone project. So we talked for a little while, and he gave me a background on what he was going on in his life. And he's in his mid 60s. And in addition to crippling arthritis, he had a problem with his gut. And of course, the immune system is in the gut, and arthritis is a problem with the immune system. He's also pre-diabetic, and he had all these unfortunate health challenges. And it's so sad because just as somebody is getting ready to into their later years, they may want to retire.
We're not seeing a video.
Of course, I don't think 60s are the later years anymore. There's a separate subject.
No.
But as someone's getting to that age.
Well, we won't show it then. We'll go on.
I can see it.
I can see the video.
We can see it.
Oh, it's just me. Pardon me.
Yeah, I can see
I
the video.
explained what all of our products were. I gave him a glass of our light infused water. I then placed an X39 patch on the back of his neck. I placed our energy patches up on the elbow points to improve the flow of energy through the hands. And then I put an Eon patch right at the hand where the worst pain was. And in less than 1 minute, his pain level dropped from a 10 to a 4. And in 5 minutes, his pain dropped from a 10 to a 1. And he regained 100% of the mobility in his hands. And we chatted for a while. And as he was walking out the door, he said, oh, my pain is at a 0 now. And he was, in absolute shock. And he had been complaining about fatigue, which isn't surprising. And he said he felt more mentally alert. He felt more energized. And it just goes to show that with our products, you know, not only does the light infused water and the patches work synergistically, but the effects, the magnitude of the effects are
Okay, there's I think someone has taken over my screen because it changed. Okay, so anyhow, let's do this. Those of you that have the X2O system and you notice a difference when you drink the water, so I share a testimony, just go ahead and go down the React area and raise your hand, and I'll call on you. And that'll bring you to the top of the screen. I'll call on you, and you can share what you've noticed with the water. These are testimonials. Okay. Annie, go for it.
I have had a long history of scratched corneas due to a condition from scarring, and very familiar with the process of how the eyelashes growing in scratch my corneas. And I felt one coming on, and I actually decided to take the X2O water and drop it in my eye, and that was the end of my problem. And the pain went away, and I didn't have to go to the ophthalmologist, and they didn't have to put the drops in, and they didn't have to cover my cornea or do anything. I didn't even go. So that was really awesome because those are painful.
Yeah, they are. Well, that's awesome. That's good to hear. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go ahead and now we have Raymond. Raymond, go ahead and unmute.
Hi, Jim. Listen, I'm 70 years old like yourself. I started out using the water with the cellar jars in the morning and in the evening, but then listening to you over the months, I added one more cycle in the afternoon because I found that with my regiment, it's the afternoon that I feel a little squeaky. So I started using when I come in the afternoon. And when I drink the water in the afternoon, I can be looking outside out my window and I can feel it go that it's like, and especially when I'm coming from the gym, when I'm coming from playing golf, whatever, I can feel this cool aura over my whole body. And on top of that, I could go pass out for a couple hours. So, and boom, I wake up and I don't have any problem going to sleep at night and sleep at 9 hours. So it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. You know, I see the same thing. I feel that it's like, I guess you call it like aura, just kind of like that.
Yeah.
You feel it, you know?
That's all I can explain it because, you know, I'm kind of chuckling because I'm like, what? This is a trip. And so, of course, you know, I every day it's my regimen. So
that's
if
good.
you haven't got the water machine, make the adjustment, whatever you got to do to get it. And I really appreciate what you talk about. I had a friend of mine that just got a call, buddy of mine, passed out. They had taken him to the hospital. The first thing they said was his problem. What do you think was the first thing they said was his problem? He's dehydrated.
Dehydrated. Yep.
So anyway.
What's the first thing they do to you when they take you to the hospital? They put that needle in your arm and start giving you saline solution.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Hey, well, thanks for sharing that, Raymond. Appreciate it. How about Tricia?
Good evening. I have been using the water for about little over 2 months now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went this last weekend up to visit my daughter and her family for 4 days. And I was without the water. And I felt like I was having withdrawal symptoms. My hands started hurting again and a couple other things. And I got home and I could hardly wait to get my water on Sunday evening. So that was the first thing I did when I got home. And it was amazing the difference. I slept so much better. everything felt so much better with the water. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know what? I sleep great too. I don't set the alarm clock. I drink it right before I go to bed at night, and I wake up 8.5 hours later and feel great.
wonderful.
Thanks. Okay. How about Susanna? You're driving. Be careful.
I'm usually driving and running errands, so mounted and okay. But I have a couple of different testimonies. Back when it was in beta testing, can you guys hear me okay, by the way?
Yeah, okay, great.
Okay. So I used to get brain scanned every week, and on the on the X39 and the Eon, I got 95% better. I actually had a brain injury that resolved itself, but so they found that out with my brain scan. I was like, hey, I have this water. Since you scanned my brain, can I drink this water and you scan me one more time? See if there's any kind of difference. And they have it's a very comprehensive brain scan. And what he said that he noticed after I drank the water was that my brain was moving faster. It was more hydrated, and I was more calm. So just with that brain scan. And so when I finally got my machine, which was set up about June 1st, what I really noticed for, with consistent use is that I'm not as bloated after eating. I just really just lost a lot of inflammation, I guess, with being bloated. And a gal at my Toastmasters meeting, she's like, oh my gosh, did you lose weight? And I was like, oh no, I think it's probably an optical illusion. But then I looked at myself and I was like, oh,
You're breaking up a little
I
bit.
can get up more a day, and
That's awesome. You're breaking up.
I
But
had my
Susanna,
dog. What's that?
You're breaking up.
Oh, shoots. Okay, well, I guess I'm done. But it's
Okay,
good stuff.
thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna do real quickly is I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna see if I can share my screen one more time with my PowerPoint. Don't go away, Nellie. I want to talk to you too. There's one of the conversations I've had with David, both of them revolved around it, is today he sent me some information. The company has got a device, and let me see if I can share my screen again. Let's see here. And let me see if I can find that. There's a device that he has found that we can actually do is when we shoot, not there. So I'll just explain the best I can. It's a scanner. And so when you're going to show someone in a meeting setting the effects of the water, you have this person with this scanner, and it reads all kinds of conditions in the body. Everything from electrical impulses, cholesterol, all kinds of stuff. It's reading the entire body, hundreds of different things in the body. And then we'll have them drink a glass of the water, wait 15 minutes, and then you look at the results, and it changes the results. I mean, it's just like you can see what's going on in the body. And so it's a process that I'm going to be demonstrating it on some of these Zooms. He's actually David has purchased one to send to me, he said, so that I can use it to train you guys. And then what we're going to do is in October at the convention, if all goes well, they'll be available for us to buy and use as we demonstrate the X2O to people. It's not something it's something where it's going to take a 20-minute process. So you can have like one or two people come up on the stage, and we have them get on the scanner, get baseline results, and then we have them drink the water, and you can see the results after. So this is going to be huge in marketing this technology. There's other ways that you can test, people drink the water, you can actually see through thermographic imaging the light is what I've understood, but those are very expensive. These systems are not cheap, but they're a medical device. Naturopaths will use them to check a person's total body out. So that's coming, and we're hoping that we will have those available at the convention in October. Okay, Nellie, go ahead and unmute yourself.
What is the name of the company, Jim?
That's one thing I cannot tell you, because I know the name. I've got the information, but I cannot tell you the name of the company or the product.
Okay.
There's certain things I cannot tell you guys.
Okay. Well, this is a story I'm borrowing from an event that I co-hosted last night. And my partner's husband, he has lost his sense of smell for 15 years. And he's been drinking the water almost every day for, let's say, maybe 6 weeks to 2 months.
Right.
And I don't know how long ago he woke up smelling something. And then he goes, am I dreaming or what? And he realized he was smelling himself for the first time. And then he went on a hike and he was smelling again for the first time in 15 years, the pine trees. I'm in California now. And, and then he said, well, he's a retired sheriff and very skeptical. And he goes, I'm not going to attribute it to the X2O machine. And then I said, what, did you add anything to your daily routine? Any other wellness products? And he goes, no. And I said, oh, okay. And I didn't say anymore. So I thought it was really remarkable.
That's great. Well, thanks for sharing that. It's we don't know what the results people can get. I just got a text message, and this is over the last 3 days here. I've taken the water, met someone halfway because she's like 35 miles away, and taking her water for Rob Mascari's, one of her friends she's known for many, many years, and she's been in a lot of pain. And I gave her a bottle. I met her at the down the road here, gave her a bottle, and she wrote me back a text. I just walked a half mile pain-free. Haven't done that for 6 months. Thank you. You know what? We're changing lives. We're changing lives. So, okay. All I'm going to do is go ahead and stop the recording now.